Everybody, it's Lisa. I wanted to share with you something that I've been doing for about 2 months now, and I felt like it was just too long to put into a post or a reel, so I wanted to come on to a live and share this with you. So I am going to be talking today about my journey into intuitive eating. So when I first started with this, I honestly really did not know what this really meant. I had talked about in the past that I wanted to eat more intuitively, just kind of listen to my body, eat what it was telling me to eat. But what I did was I met with a nutritionist from Fay Nutrition. So I was gifted 3 sessions with a Fay nutritionist. Her name was Anna Goodroe, and she was fantastic. And what she really taught me was that in midlife, I did need to start listening to my body when it came to eating more intuitively. As women, I'm now 60, but women in our 50s, 60s, we really grew up with that yo-yo dieting mentality, calorie restriction. For years, I was the queen of eating packaged foods, processed foods, those little containers of processed foods, and I knew the calorie count on everything, just really restricting calories. And honestly, that's not very good for your metabolism. I did learn that through Anna as well. But that's what we did, when we were younger. Women who are, in midlife now or beyond, when we were younger, that's what we were told to do. Exercise more, cut your calories, and you'll lose weight. Then as we became older, we realized that this no longer works. We need to really start aging vibrantly, and it's not all about that calorie restriction to lose weight. We need to balance our cortisol. Our hormones are off due to a drop in estrogen, and also we need to eat more protein, build muscle. So this is all connected. But I remember the first time telling someone that I wanted to eat more intuitively, and it was not met with a very great response. I was counting macros at the time, and I really could tell I was overeating. But I'm a numbers person, and I really just wanted to get to, those protein goals, and I could tell that I was overeating to get to those goals. And so I said to this person, I want to eat a little bit more intuitively. And she was like, well, what if your intuition's telling you to eat cupcakes or something like that? And I thought, no, that's not really what I mean. I just really want to listen to my body. And that's what I really learned over the last 2 months. So intuitive eating is more really listening to your hunger cues, eating when you're hungry and stopping when you're not, and listening to your body, but also giving yourself grace to try new things and see how your body reacts. So that's one of the biggest things I learned through this journey, is that hunger is one of the most basic cues that your body has. And so in our society, it's often met with feelings of, defeat, just really negative emotion that you ate something if you were hungry, that, it's a sign of strength that you can overcome this hunger. But when your body is telling you you're hungry, then you do need to eat, especially if you've been fasting, let's say you're already fasting 14, 16 hours and you're hungry, you may need to eat something. Your body can increase cortisol if you don't eat when you are hungry. So that is one of the most basic cues. So I will say that is one of the top things that I really learned with intuitive eating, is that hunger is a basic cue that your body has. It's innate. It tells you that it's time to eat, and it's not a sign of defeat or weakness if you eat when you're hungry. So really eat when you're hungry, listen for those hunger cues, and then stop when you're full. So I really had a habit of wanting to finish my plate. It just felt like a waste of food, especially, if I ate, 90% of what was on my plate. I was thinking, oh gosh, I don't want to waste that extra 10% of food. It's a waste. But now I stop. Thank you. I have a message saying more of these informative talks, please. Thank you, Hilda. I really stop when I'm full. So intuitive eating is really about listening to your hunger, eating when you're hungry, and stopping when you're full. So that was really one of the biggest things for me. And the other thing is really listening to my body. So, part of when I was doing this, we went to a wedding a few weeks ago. My nephew got married out of state. And so, of course, I wanted to be part of the celebration. So I have learned through DNA testing that I am gluten and lactose intolerant. But, of course, I did want to be celebratory. I didn't want to feel left out. So I did have a little bit of gluten and dairy over the weekend. And honestly, by the second or third day, even though I wasn't eating a lot of gluten and dairy, I definitely didn't feel well. I felt sluggish, tired, headacheish, bloated, just did not feel my best. And so when I came back from the weekend away and went back to really eating, the less gluten, dairy, just less processed foods, cleaner foods, eating when I was hungry, stopping when I was full, I felt great. I felt more energetic. I felt so less bloated. I felt happy. And that's one thing that Anna also shared. So, we always say everything in moderation. You also, want to celebrate life. And if there's a wedding or a party, you want to be able to participate. But what's your tipping point? So maybe, having a few bites of the cake, if you're gluten intolerant, that might be okay. But having gluten 3 days in a row, that might be your tipping point where you're just not going to feel well. So it's really all about listening to your body as well. Just, what is your body telling you? Am I feeling bloated? Am I feeling sluggish? Am I feeling headachy after a certain food? So really tuning into your body. And that really is what intuitive eating is all about. So it's not necessarily about, eating cupcakes and candy and eating, whatever your mind tells you, but eating in a healthy way in tune with your body. And I really just honestly feel that this is such an important aspect of healthy aging for me. And another thing that I wanted to share, something that I was really kind of, because I am in that mindset of, calorie counting from years ago, my weight has not changed at all. So I do feel more energetic because I feel that a lot of times I was depriving myself of eating when I felt like I needed to really eat, maybe after a workout. I was thinking, okay, I just worked out, so I'm not going to eat, save some calories. But if my body really needed to be fueled again, I now go ahead and have like a little protein smoothie bowl, something like that. So it really is important to just listen to your body. And my weight has not changed at all, but I do feel much more energetic with this way of eating. So this is just another aspect of healthy aging that I really feel that you can incorporate into, your daily routine. It's all about movement, moving your body, building muscle through strength-bearing exercises, sleep, reducing that cortisol through sleep and rest. And, longer fasts aren't for everyone. So if your body is telling you to eat, then go ahead and eat, reduce that cortisol and increase protein, but don't overeat. If you are trying to get to a protein goal for a meal and you feel like you're overeating, then you probably are. I know that when I was counting macros and feeling like I was overeating, I actually did gain weight at that time because I was overeating. It was too much for me. So really, I wanted to summarize what I've learned through intuitive eating, and that is really to listen to your hunger cues, stop when you're full, and really listen to your body. So it was a fantastic journey. I wanted to thank Fay, and I'll link them below, and you can get in touch with Anna Goodroe is who I talked to. But Fay Nutrition has something for everyone. So if you are struggling with, let's say, high blood sugar, and you're looking for someone who may want to develop a plan for you to, lower your blood sugar levels, or you want a certain diet plan to incorporate more protein into your diet, or whatever it may be, or learn more about intuitive eating, or just have someone to really support you along the way and tell you, yes, what you're doing is right. Maybe you need these changes here. Fay Nutrition is fantastic for that. So wanted to thank Fay again. I'll include their information here, and I'll talk to everybody soon. I'll be posting this to my feed, so if you have any questions, let me know.